Another aspect of the Gabby Petito documentary I'd like to speak about is about how Gabby and Brian's relationship began and how quickly it moved. Now, none of the things I'm talking about in and of themselves are huge issues or red flags, but whenever we take them all sort of together, knowing the outcome that she was murdered by Brian, I think that these smaller things are significant in understanding what really happened. So, according to the documentary, Gabby was walking to a deli or out of a deli, and Brian drove by and saw her. And so he stops his car and he runs up to her and introduces himself. And he and she both describe it as love at first sight. Now, I talked to hundreds of people, males and females, who are in these narcissistic relationships or in a relationship with someone that has narcissistic tendencies. And it always starts that way. It always starts with, it was love at first sight, this feeling of unbelievable love and passion that just consumes them. And we call this the love bombing phase. It's whenever the person with the narcissistic personality disorder or with narcissistic traits love bombs their new victim to make them think that this person is their everything, is Mr. Or Mrs. Perfect, hung the moon type of feeling. Only quickly then to go into the downward cycle of devaluation. So Brian love bombs Gabby for all intents and purposes, and he then convinces her very quickly to move away from her family in New York to Florida, where his family lives. In fact, whenever the stepmom of Gabby Petito was being interviewed, she basically said, one day Gabby said that she was dating Brian, and the next day they were gone. So almost immediately after they begin dating, Brian convinces her to leave her family and friends in New York and go with him to Florida, where his family is, and she has no support system down there. She doesn't have her parents. She doesn't have her friends. So she's isolated from her support system very, very quickly. And in my next musings, I'll talk about what happens there and the whole dynamics with Brian's family, particularly his mother.